Today is November 26th, the first day after Thanksgiving break. Some of us may need this video tonight because we slept through class today, but hopefully the video will help. I'm just saying it. We have just started class. We went over the math workshop, and we've been given these notes. They're called Graphing Inequalities, and first period always gets, how am I going to teach this, and what is it going to end up like? And the top was more scary, so we're starting with the easy stuff, okay? We're starting to graph what I'm going to call inequalities, okay? They're not equal. Notice the letters N and IN in front of it, okay? Listen, I need y'all's attention. Now, so I want you to look at something. We should know what I call the first two symbols. And words are going to matter in just a little bit, like they get really important. So, you're going to want to jot down these words right next to it. Here we go. This symbol is the less than symbol. Y'all already know that. And this symbol is the greater than symbol. Okay. These two are the newer ones, as I'm going to call it, because they have an extra line. Listen, this means less than or equal to. That little line is there for a reason. It's not like I accidentally marked it. Listen, this sign means less than or equal to. And this one means greater than or equal to. Okay, inequalities aren't just like exactly equal because they can have multiple answers. That's the weird part, okay? And we kind of already talked about that. Now, we're going to do two things with these things today. We're going to graph them, and we're going to what is called write an inequality for each sentence. We're going to start with the graphing, the bottom of the page. We're graphing on a number line. So I want you to think about, like that line up there, the blue one above my board. We're going to graph them on a number line. I want you to think about it. When we graph things on a number line, they need usually a dot, and then usually something shoots off with an arrow, okay? Listen, the dot, though, is going to be weird on this. The dot is either going to be an open dot or a closed dot. So let me show you. If it is just these, and I call these the boring ones, they're just less than or greater than, it is going to have an open dot on the number line. If it is less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, it's going to have what I call a closed dot. You got to shade it in, okay? Listen, that is something weird that we have to memorize. I'm going to show you something real quick, which is hokey as all get out, but if it works for you, this is what I do. Okay, to memorize which is which, because down here we're going to have to use the correct dot. This is what I do. I'm just going to kind of, well, of course, I need a good piece of paper, and I don't have one right this second. I'll just do it right here. This is what I do. I want you to think about it. To make these symbols, that one, which is less than, or greater than, it has an open dot. These are what I call fast. This was fast to make. This was fast to make, and that is fast to make. Doesn't take a lot of pencil, doesn't take a lot of ink. Bam, 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 I'm done. Okay? So those go together. These take me a little bit more time because they have the equal sign. And so does this one take me a little more time because I got to spend some time shading that thing in. So these go together, and these go together. You can memorize it however you want. This is just Miss Donahue's goofy way of remembering it, okay?
Miss Donahue?
Yes.
I need Autumn Clark to check out.
Okay. So Thank you.
Would you like giving her homework, please?
Yes, we got it. Thank ya. It's on the back. It's okay. So, what I do before I take a test on this, I just jot down those symbols and I put that, and I jot down those symbols and I put that. That way I just have it to look at, because this is what we're going to do with it. Okay? You got it? I know you're going to want to fast forward, but that's okay. So, what it is we've given you, it's okay, it happens to all of us. So look right here. We've given you an inequality. X is greater than 15, and they want us to graph this thing. So basically what you do is step 1, if it's not numbered for you, put the 15 kind of in the middle, and I'm putting a 15 because that's what we're working with. We're going to put a 15 right here, and I want you to turn it into a number line. I mean, what would be next? 16, 17. What would be before it? 14, 13. You've just made a number line. Okay. Does that make sense so far? And kind of put the 15 in the middle if it's not there. Okay, second step. What kind of symbol should this one have? Open or closed? Open, because this one is like, it's just boring. It goes with this one. So you're going to put an open circle at 15. Notice it's where they cross. It's an open circle. I can see the white. I know it's open. Okay? Now, to figure out which side to shade, what you do is you see which ones would make sense. So once you think about it, if I took 14 and I put it right there where that X is, so if my X equaled 14, is 14 greater than 15? No. So I'm going to go to the other side. 16. Is 16 greater than 15? Yes. That means, when you get your yes, that means you shade that side of the number line and put your little arrow on that end. Because listen, it could be 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It could be 100. It could be 1,000. It could be 1,000,000. Because we know that number line goes on forever. Okay? The open or closed dot tells you if 15 is included. So look at that one. Like, is 15 part of the answer? So I want you to look. If it says the word greater than 15, can it be 15? No. So you kind of have to look at where things fit and stuff. Okay? So let's try 7. So take your number that we're working with. It is a 6. Put a 6 in the middle of the number line, and then number it, just like all number lines are. Okay. Now, do I want a closed dot or an open dot? Closed. So I'm going to put a closed dot at 6. That just means it would include 6. Okay. Now think about it. Do you want 4 and 5 is less than or equal to 6? Or 7 and 8 is less than or equal to 6?
4 and 5.
4 and 5. These would be where that N are. That N is. I'm sorry, whatever. So like 4, whatever you're choosing should fit where that variable is. Is that good so far? Everybody good? Y'all are very quiet. Good old 7th period. Okay.
Why would it be 4 and 5?
It can be 4 or 5. So I'm going to show you with another color. Watch. If I put a 4 where that N is, so I want you to I'm picking that number because I'm going to shade it in. Is 4 less than or equal to 6?
Is the 4 less than or equal to 6?
Is 4 less than or equal to 6? Less. So we're good to go. That means that worked. How about 5? Is 5 less than or equal to 6? You got it. So since you answered yes and that works, that is why we shaded that side of it. So you shade whatever fits for N. So like if you think about it, if I put a 7, if I take that 7 and I put it right here, is 7 less than or equal to 6?
It's greater than 6.
Right. So it doesn't work, does it? So we want to only shade in our possible answers. What could N be? That's a good question. Like, I just didn't explain it well enough because it's after lunch. I'm starting all over. Basically, whatever you're shading in should fit where that N is. Should be an answer. Okay? It's kind of weird. It just takes time. Yes?
That's why they make that one shaded, because the 6 can equal it too.
Right. So the way we test this is if you've got it shaded in, that means it's one of the answers. So is 6 less than or equal to 6? Yes. So that works. Okay? It's weird. When I grade these things, I have to grade for did you shade the right end? Did you either shade it or leave it open? And then did you make a number line correctly? Okay? So it's just kind of have to take it slow. Okay, so let's look at 8, and we'll move it down a little bit. I know you can't see my dots, but I hope you got them. Okay, on number 8, we need the number what? 5, somewhere in the middle, number 6 and 7, 4 and 3. Okay. Open or close? Open, because it's just what I call a boring. Oh, this isn't even the right pen. Keep finding more purple pens. There we go. So it is an open circle on the number 5. Whatever number you're working with is what you make it on. Okay. Open on 5. Now, be careful on this one, because they did flip-flop the A on this back side of it. But think about it. 5 is greater than A. So is 5 greater than 3? Yes. Is 5 greater than 4?
Yes.
Yes. Is 5 greater than 6? No. So we want this yes side. We want to shade in the yes side. Whatever would fit where that A is. You should be able to put that number where A is and it be true. Okay? So number 9, we need to put a what number? 17. And listen, don't just put 17. You got to put a few out on each side. If we've only given you 5 spots, I need 5 spots filled in, guys. Some of you try to really cut some corners and we can't. Okay, 17 is greater than or equal to D. Closed or open dot? Closed. Okay. So I just test them. Would I want 15 there? So is 17 greater than or equal to 15? Okay. Is 17 greater than or equal to 16? So if I put a 16 there, it works, doesn't it? Is 18, would it work? Now they're zoning out or going ahead of me. I'm not sure which. But it's not too hard, is it? It's just getting its steps down. You know. Try these two and then we'll compare answers. And that is 37. If you made it 3.7, it's fine. I just forgot to tell y'all. It just happened to be weird. I would put a closed dot on 37. And since they want the ones that are less than or equal to, I need that side. Does that make sense? Okay. Going on this one, I would do 58. Open dot. Okay, 58 is less than K. So 59. So is 58 less than 59?
No. Yes.
So try this. Try 60. Is 58 less than 60?
Yes.
Yes. So we need this side. Okay. Test them. I'm going to be honest. If you don't do homework, we don't know if you can do it or not. I need you to do it so that we can know. Now, that was the easier stuff. I'm not going to lie. We've got to go to the top now. A couple weeks ago, and I have this on my whiteboard, but I just want to write it so you guys can see it. We're going to go to the top of the sheet, but I want you to look at something real quick. Okay, just trying to find some white paper. Listen, we would have something goofy like Bill lost $10. Okay. And just to kind of refresh our brain, we would first define a variable, and we would say something like B equals Bill. So how do we put Bill lost $10? Minus 10, right, okay. So we would write this expression to go with that sentence. Does everybody remember doing that? Like we would define a variable, write an expression. What we have to do now is, instead of it being like this, we're still going to define a variable, but it is now going to have an inequality sign. Okay? So, look at the top of this thing. Here we go. Now we're going to write an inequality for each sentence. And I know I'm kind of doing this backwards, but I think it helped my last couple classes. Okay. Read number 1. It says more than 2,500 people attended the convention. I want you to think about it. What's our variable? What do we not know?
How many people?
People, right. So I'm just going to put P for people, just kind of keeping it short and sweet. Okay. I'm going to give you a hint. Step 1, as you're paying attention, get with me. We're going to put the people on one side, the P, and we're going to put the number from the sentence, I'll call it, from this story or whatever, on the other side. So we got P on one side, the number on the other. That's kind of like step 1. Letter, number. Letter, number. Okay, now, we have got to choose, listen, which of these to put between it based on the words. And that's going to be the weird part. It says up here in the sentence, it says more than 2,500 people attended it. So how do I write more than this? I need my P to be more than that. What would I write? I got a question. Can it be 2,500? It's got to be more than that, right? So 2,501. Can we have an equal sign?
No.
No. So which one?
Second.
The second one. You got it. This is right. So P is greater than 2,500. It's weird. Like you got to watch the words. Y'all good so far? Okay, more than. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Her earnings were no more than $64. I'm going to do E for earnings. Earnings just means like how much money she made. You could say P for paycheck. Her earnings were no more than $64. So look what we did with the first one. We put the letter, we put the number, and now we need a symbol. No more than $64. So did it include 64? Like, can she make $64? If it's no more than 64, she can make 64. So I need an equal sign. So I'm basically on these two now. Can she make less than 64 or more than it? Less. It's weird. Like to me, it's almost the opposite of the way you think it would be. She cannot make any more than $64. Does that make sense? Up to 64? I have to read these things 2, 3, 4 times to get them sometimes. Okay. Number 3, the winning 5K race time was less than 22 minutes. Variable should be, I do T for time, but it could be R for race. I got my T on one side, my number 22 on the other. Time is less than 22. Which symbol? Less than, right? That one's easy because I got the exact words, less than. Okay, 4. A checking account balance is no more than $500. Variable. Okay, so you could do C for checking. You could do A for account. It doesn't matter. B for balance. Listen, don't skip that step because that's 2 points, and basically that's 2 points. Okay. Now, no more than 500. So what you think about it? Can it be 500?
No.
Well, listen, no more than. So it can be 500 or less, or lower, yes. I had to sit there and think about it. They don't usually have that on checking accounts, like how high up they can go, but they do have minimums. Like sometimes you have to keep $100 in there or something like that. Okay. Number 5, a maximum ceiling height of 8 feet was required in the new building. I've been doing C for ceiling. I got C on one side, 8 on the other. So think about it. What if it was a person's height? Can they be 8 feet? Yeah, they can be 8 feet or what? Shorter. That's the way I think of it. Change it to something you know. Change it like if that helps you. Okay? So, this is how to do this. Okay? So on the back looks just like the front. It's just different sentences. So we got write an inequality for each sentence, 1 through 6. Graph it on a number line. Okay. I will say on these, like number 8 here, I had a student stop me earlier and ask. They already numbered the number line for you. So, since they've already numbered it, you don't have to number it, but you got to look and see. Do you want to open or closed hole? Open on this one. And if it says 5 is less than D, which side should I shade? 6, right? Is 5 less than 6? Yes. So you just shade this side. What kind of freaked the kid out, which is fine, is that 5 was not in the middle. Listen, that's fine. If they've already numbered it for you, it is okay that it's not exactly in the middle. Okay, like 9 they did this way. It just happens that way. Okay. The other thing I'm advising kids, I'm hoping you guys are getting this done in class, this homework, because you had it, like most classes have had about 6 to 10 minutes. I'm hoping that tonight they really start studying for the memorization test. This is going to go out as a picture of Remind at 3:10 today. We're giving them 5 minutes. They've got to memorize the measurements. Okay. Test is not till December the 5th. They've also got to know these abbreviations. And on the bottom of this, I've even copied off my board, which the kids have had since last week, but basically how the test will be given. So the first part of the test will be name the measurement for each abbreviation, what it stands for. So they would write cups, they would write feet. They'll obviously be mixed up than probably what's on here. And then filling the missing measurement. Filling in that number, and so on. Since they will have 25 questions that day, we have extended it to 5 minutes. So if that will help you at all, I'm just giving you a heads up on this. If you will learn 2 or 3 a night, starting tonight, you'll be fine by next week, guys. You'll be fine. So, good to go. I'm letting that. I think that is it. Finish your homework. Please, please, please.